When was the last time you offered someone a drink? Probably yesterday at a barbecue, right? Or something to eat. Or a piece of your mind. When was the last time you offered somebody something that might lead them to have salvation and have their name written in the book of life? Why not? Why are we so hesitant? The very call today in the gospel is that we are all disciples. Notice it's not about the apostles, it's about the 72. Matter of fact, as you look at the 72, you got to do some mathematics again today. 72. Why 72? What does it remind you of? Old Testament. Exodus. Moses. Moses called 72, but only 70 showed up and said, "E-Dad, me-Dad, we're back in the camp." So the 72 were expected to share in Moses' power and authority. 72 is 6 times 12. What does 6 tell you? Not complete. Not complete. 12 is a full house. 6 is incomplete, always. So we see now in the Gospel, Luke's telling us, make sure we hear it twice. 72. 72 plus 72 is what? 144. You didn't know school would pay off, did you? 144 is what? 144 is 12. What does it remind you of? The last book of the Bible. Book of Revelation. What does it say? Some people think that's exactly how many are going to be saved. 144,000. No. What is that? 12 times 12. That's what 144 is. 1,000. That's unbelievable amounts. In other words, God's desire is that all people be saved. And the 12 here, the 72, is showing that Jesus is the fulfillment. The kingdom has been fulfilled. God has done all that he needs to do to bring about our salvation. So we're part of that. We're part of that. And Jesus makes sure that it says, and the laborers are few. Not because there's few called, but because there's few willing to do anything about it. Few willing to get involved in bringing the others to have their name in the book of life. Well, how do we do that? It's not a matter of going door to door like those who believe there's only 144,000, but there's many ways. And today gives us a couple of good hints in the scripture. Let's use them. Because conversations do come up once in a while, and you say, hey, do you know what the Bible said? Do you know your math in the Bible? Gives you lots of opportunities to share something. Today in the scripture, we heard about 72 disciples. You know what that means? Oh, okay. There's a discussion starter. Piques people's interest, huh? So we can talk about those numbers, if you will. That God desired everyone to be saved and have their name in that book of life. You don't have to be a direct evangelist. Or we can look at, I like to look today at the second reading. What did you hear in the second reading that ought to pique somebody's interest? Maybe even your own. You probably didn't even notice. What does Paul say he bears? Remember, he just finished bragging about, and I have been shipwrecked this many times, I've been flogged this many times, and on and on. But now he goes on and says, and I bear the marks of Christ's crucifixion. Most likely Paul had the stigmata, because in another place he talks about how he was disfigured, and the people still welcomed him, even though he was not very attractive for that reason. Stigmata. What is that? Do you know what it is? Do you realize that ever since St. Francis of Assisi, there's always been somebody with stigmata? Like, whoa. What is that? The wounds of Christ. Some are permanent, like Padre Pio. They were permanent, always there. Some, it shows up like the guy, there's a book out there called My Name is Francis, the farmer up in Michigan, who on every Friday had terrible pain as the stigmata appeared on him. And on Good Friday, even worse. There's a lady in Cochabamba right now who has the stigmata. And of course, psychiatrists look at that, right? And they say, well, guess what? That's psychological. You can make it happen. Can you make it disappear psychologically? Yeah. You got a hole all the way through your hand. Can you make it disappear, in a matter of hours? No. Yeah. In other words, God is doing something with that witness. And Paul used it for a witness. Now, do you know anybody that's not a Catholic that's ever had stigmata? I don't. It doesn't matter. It's a wonderful opportunity to talk about something that makes people wonder. It's like, what? I never heard of that. Good. Let me tell you something about it. Huh? There's an opportunity for you. And it's an opportunity that they'd be happy to hear something more about. What about miracles? Other miracles. We hear these disciples coming back to Jesus and said, Lord, look what happens. Even the demons obey us. Do they obey you? Have you ever had a conversation with a friend or a neighbor who said, I don't know, something strange going on in our house or at my neighbor's house next door? Talk about spiritual realities? What did you do about it? Did you say, hey, I got some holy water. Would you like me to come over and bless your house? You can do it. I don't have to do it. I recently blessed somebody's house inside and out all the way around because they've been plagued for a long, long, long time in this area. And I've been asked quite a number of times, and guess what? It's never Catholics. Never Catholics. It's never Catholics. You are protected already. You are protected. You are called to help share that protection with others. The demons are subject to your name, Jesus said. But we don't act like it. We don't act like it. You've got that gift, that power. What about other miracles? People might be interested. Realize this week, Bishop Fulton Sheen, anybody know who he is? A great one for the 50s for evangelization. Bishop Fulton Sheen finally got his body back to Illinois so they can move on his case. He's already been declared blessed. And he may be prayed to for intercession because there has been a miracle established. What are those miracles? Church demands, expects of God to affirm with miracles, whether we're looking at Mary's apparitions or whether we're looking at canonizing somebody. That God would say, okay, that's got my stamp of approval. Does he do that? You bet he does. And what are miracles? The church demands that they be something beyond scientific explanation. Cannot be something that could happen in any other way except by God's intervention. Miracles are happening all the time. Do we pray for them? Are we aware of any? If we're aware of some, are we sharing those? And if we don't have them personally, there are quite a number of miracles besides Lourdes, Fatima, Guadalupe, and all these other places that Mary's appeared, where miracles have occurred beyond explanation. And we can say, wow, have you ever heard about this? I think someone said a man here in town just passed away last week who was extremely fascinated with Fatima. Wow, that was wonderful. Yeah. People are interested. Even if we look at the Shroud of Turin. All these things are things, seemingly, that God works in a special way within your gathering among the Catholics who have faith in God for such things. There are days we hear the call of the gospel. Jesus says, rejoice not so much that these things can happen, and they will happen for you, but that your name is in the book of life. But you and I want others' names in there as well, don't we? Don't we want Jesus' fulfillment of the gospel to be able to come about? And along with that, an attachment to that, i.e., pay attention to the pro-life. There's some bumper stickers out there. You can have them, one or two or all. And a simple way of giving witness. Need to be paying attention to what is happening in the pro-life. I don't know if you saw yesterday, Friday. Friday, I went to the clinic to get some earwax out. I couldn't hear. I was dizzy. A nurse comes in and says, well, once a year we have to ask our clients these questions. Are you ever depressed? I said, ma'am. So one of those questions on there also says, would you feel like sometimes that the world would be better without you? She said, yeah, how'd you know that? I said, because the government passed that on military men about 10 years ago. Now, why? Not because they're interested in whether you're depressed or not, because it's leading up to saying, hey, maybe the world would be better without me. Let's encourage euthanasia. And while we're at it, did you see this week, Life News? They're seeking to connect euthanasia more with organ donation. Guess what happens there? We're not far behind China, which likes to kill their opponents to provide organs for others. Like, oh, it happens there, and it happens here. Pay attention to what is going on in the pro-life. Because if we don't do something about it, they're not doing something about it, you're part of the problem. You and I are called to be disciples of Christ, working for life in every way. So today, let us be committed to what the Lord has called us to. harvest is rich, but the laborers are few. Will you work for the harvest along with me?